As fears mount in the West over a major military escalation in Ukraine, the United States is preparing for talks with Russia. The talks could start within the weeks. The announcement follows accusations from the Western powers who have blamed Moscow for continuing a major troop buildup on the border with Ukraine. According to U.S. officials, the U.S. is ready to engage in diplomacy as soon as early January next year, both bilateral and through multiple channels. The official further asserted that any dialogue must be based on reciprocity, which means the U.S. also has its concerns that will be put on the table. The Kremlin has grown increasingly insistent that the West and NATO are encroaching dangerously close to Russia's borders. Tensions peaked this week when Putin vowed to take retaliatory military steps in response to what he called the West's aggressive stance. Moscow presented the West with sweeping security demands last week. Russia asked NATO to not admit new members and bar the United States from establishing new bases in former Soviet countries. Now, the Russian president has called Washington's willingness to discuss security proposals as positive. The U.S. is yet to agree to a time and place of fresh talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The West and Ukraine have accused Russia of weighing a fresh attack on its southern neighbor as soon as next month. Russia is bolstering defenses against Ukrainian government forces. In recent weeks, Russian mercenaries have been deployed to separatist-controlled eastern Ukraine. The Kremlin has, however, denied any connection with private Russian military contractors. Moscow has moved tens of thousands of regular troops to staging posts closer to Ukraine. It has also demanded urgent security guarantees from the West. Russia wants to prevent Ukraine and other neighboring countries from being used as a base to attack it. Now, amid rising tensions, British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss repeated her warning to Russia. She said that any incursion into Ukraine will be a costly mistake. But Truss has welcomed Moscow's willingness to enter the talks. Germany and France have both called on both sides to respect the restoration of a full ceasefire in eastern Ukraine. In a joint statement, the foreign ministries urged the sides to continue discussions on further steps in the humanitarian field. Earlier today, we were joined by our correspondent Stuart Smith from Moscow. Listen in to what he had to say.
Yeah, so speaking off the record on Thursday, in response to what President Vladimir Putin had said at his annual press conference, one White House official said that they would not negotiate publicly, so we're not going to be getting fed lines as this negotiation goes on, but the US would give a full response to the Russian proposals in January. So it seems like the process is not going to be taking place over the next few days. We know that the president of Russia believes the ball is now in the court of the West and NATO countries. He's listed his demands. He's made it very clear exactly what he wants and what he's expecting. And now it's up to the US to decide exactly how they respond. One thing that this White House official says is that there are clearly some things the US would never agree to. And he says he thinks the Russians probably know that, but there are other areas where they may be able to talk.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.